It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Doug's and it's a bottle of their Cacao Imperial Chocolate Stout coming in at 11.5% ABV. Black bottle cap. Big fan of Imperial Stouts. I've been told this is really kind of like desserty without being boozy. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. Ooh. Look at that. We got a one finger tan coloured head, jet black beer in the glass. There's no light pulling through there at all. Good levels of carbonation. Head's dissipated now. It's 11.5% ABV. It will do that. Some Imperial Stouts you'll see the head staying around. Other Imperial Stouts you'll see the head dissipate. But I can smell the chocolate from here. I can smell that kind of confectionery sweetness coming from here. I'm about half a foot away. Let's get the aroma. Oh, that's really, wow. Wow. That's just milk chocolate. That's just a glass of milk chocolate. Massively, judging it by the aroma, it's going to be massively sweet. Do you know when you were a kid or in my case, I have kids now that love eating sweets and chocolate. Do you know when you have you take your kid to the sweet shop and you walk through the door and you get that burst of, it's a mixture of smells from the sweet shop, the sweets, the chocolates, a real confectionery smell. That's what I'm getting from this aroma, a real like. Personally, I find it overpowering. I don't really eat sweets. I don't really eat that much chocolate. When I do go into the sweet shop with the kids, I'm like walking around with my finger on my nose. It's like, it's too much for me. Ever since I've drunk beer, I've learned to love bitterness much more than I love sweetness these days. I'm hoping it's not too sweet. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, that's a real. Got my nose. That got the inside of my nostrils itching. That did. Oh, like proper, like a drug addict. That really is a beer of two halves. Really is a beer of two halves. The first half of the beer, it's to the point where it's shockingly sweet. It's like, oh my goodness me, my worst fears have come true. This beer is massively sweet. And as soon as you start thinking that the beer's too sweet, the roasted malts kick in and take it in a completely different direction. It goes from massively sweet to massively bitter. It's the most, I would say, the most balanced Imperial Stout I've ever tried. Really sweet, really bitter, kind of just gliding through the air like a very good glider. It's a collaboration with Stillwater Artisanal. I almost want to erase, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, I almost want to erase the And this is just my own personal preference. It's my own personal drinking style. If you like sweet stuff, you're gonna love it. But for me, if I could take out that massive awkward sweetness, an awkward first barrel load of sweetness to begin with, and just have that bitterness on the back end, I would take it at a drop of a hat. But it's not all about the sweetness. As I mentioned, there's a lot of bitterness on the back end. It's a short, sharp, quick as you like, over as quick as it started sweetness, and then it goes over to being an imperial stout. So there's some vanilla flavour in there, there's chocolate, there's coffee, there's caramel, there's a lot of roasted malt coming through, there's bitterness from the hops. It's got a nice mouthfeel, but I can feel the stickiness, I can feel the confectionery sweet stickiness on my lips with this beer. Nice levels of carbonation, pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck with this beer. I really am stuck. In collaborating with Stillwater Artisanal, we always focus on distinct, clear, punchy flavours. This flavoured beer is no exception. Inspired by everyone's favourite candy. This is a chocolate bar in a bottle and wrap. Okay, they've actually called it a chocolate bar in a bottle on the back of the label. So it's almost like I can't. It does everything the bottles said it would do. It's like that old saying, it does everything it says on the tin. Maybe I should have read this label before I bought the beer. Maybe. It's just for my own personal, I'll mention it one more time. If you love chocolate bars, if you love sweets, you'll love this beer. You will love this beer. For me, it's far too sweet. Far too sweet. I want to be able to really taste them roasted malts on the back end. It kind of like slides over. It slides over from being sweet to bitter. But that, you know, that middle of the beer, the middle ground of the tasting, where the roast malts start coming through, the coffee, the chocolate, the caramel. It's like the sweetness is just playing around. It's like doing this. Just playing around with your dangly bits, you know, and it's just, yeah. It's just a bit too sweet for me. I'm gonna rate it. For me personally, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 from Milo Craft Beer. If you love sweet things, you'll love this beer. I'm not a lover of sweet things. 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.